What is up, everybody? Welcome back to, or I should say, welcome to the Digital Dugout. As many of you have noticed, Eric and I rebranded this week, and we are no longer Nifty Sports. We are no longer Talking Candy. We are no longer the weekly walk-off. We are proud to introduce the Digital Dugout. Eric, how's it going, man?
Nate, bravo on the rebrand. You knocked it out of the park. So excited to be here, man, at the Digital Dugout for the very first episode of the Digital Dugout officially, man. I know we teased it last season, but we finally made it happen. Big props to you, man. Excited to be here with you.
Thanks, man. Excited to be here too. Yeah, like Eric said, this has been a while in the making. We teased it last year. Our schedules were busy. It didn't quite happen, but we pulled it together. We are now Digital Dugout, and we also have some really exciting news. We are going to be showing you the first look at the Clubhouse, which is going to be our new paid membership. It's going to be an inner circle of Sorare managers. We've got a lot of really thoughtful minds in this community. We've got some talented lineup setters. We've got people that know what they're doing, and we are looking to create an inner circle of those people that want to take this really seriously and have some fun along the way. So we are really excited to show you what that looks like and give you an idea of what those benefits are going to be. It's going to be a couple different tiers. So we are certainly going to jump into that. What's up? The Hudson boys are in here. What's going on, Paul and Devin?
Jump shoot, Hudsons. Welcome in, boys.
The couple of Hudsons. Yeah, so that is that. What's that?
My bad. I was going to say, we got an agenda today too for all you folks out there. We got energy to talk about. We haven't done an episode since the announcements of the new gameplay for this year. So it's our first one of the actual MLB season. And then we'll go into the Clubhouse after that and give you all those details that you want. Super excited to put that together, and then ended up with talking about the market on Sorare, which is really unique. As you can all tell, compared to what it's been the past couple of years. So it creates some challenges and then some opportunities also. It's a great time to get into Sorare. So if you have friends that are out there who haven't played yet, now's the time to sign up, man. It's never been a better time. The cash prizes are at all-time highs. The card prices are at all-time lows. It's a lot of fun. So
agreed. I think that while scary on the surface, that, like you said, it does present opportunity, and it's also we're in a recalibration period here, right? People don't exactly know what to value the cards at. We've had some bumps to start the year that have caused some different sentiments. We're recalibrating on how to implement our galleries into these vast number of contests that we can play in, and the market's going to take some time to recalibrate to that. So yeah, looking forward to getting into that. We will save that for a little bit later in the show. But like Eric said, we are going to start with taking a look at, we're 5 game weeks in. I think we just locked for game week 6, which is exciting. We have seen some huge wins in the Digital Dugout community already through 5 game weeks, which is awesome. Love to see that. Love when people post that stuff. It makes the game weeks where I don't win anything a little bit more fun. I like living vicariously through other people's successes. So that's going to be a big part of the Clubhouse as well. But yeah, I think that something that we want to talk about here is energy first and foremost. I think that was without a doubt the biggest question mark going into this new season. Will there be enough? What's the ecosystem going to look like? Are we going to be able to leverage our classic cards? There was a lot of fear that classic cards were dead. I think it's far from the truth. I think that they're stronger than they've ever been. I honestly do. And I'm going to get into why. I've talked a lot about that in the Discord. I've not shied away from my opinion on that. I know that not everybody agrees, and that's cool. Everybody gets to have their own opinion. But what were your thoughts going into the season on energy? What were you worried or excited about?
I was interested to see how long I was going to be able to sustain energy for my classic cards. I am not sustaining it at the rate that I would have liked to, but I think that's where this low card cost comes into place, because I've been able to buy cards that I would necessarily not have able to buy if I was just banking it solely off of that energy. You got the 50% credits as well as instead of the 25% credits. So a lot of that's kind of factoring in. It's just allowing me to build a bigger in-season collection at a lower cost than I ever thought possible. So it's not bad, like, even though I've blown through energy, show of hands in the chat, who wiped it all away in the first 2 weeks? I'm right there. Like, I have just as many cards now. I started off with just doing one full complete in-season lineup, and now this week, out of all my 3 lineups, I'm only energizing 2 cards, and I feel solid about all 3 lineups across the board. So things have changed.
Yeah.
It's a different dynamic, but yeah, I'm hurting for some energy. I almost wish that there was a third challenger lineup just to match the number of in-season lineups, so that I could have some more shot at energy too. I'm feeling a little bit light on the number of contests this year as opposed to last year. To be honest with you.
I think that in a sense, like in certain ways, it feels light on contests, but in other ways, it feels like there's way more. And so it depends on what your gallery looks like. It depends on what you have at your disposal to enter. I know that the dailies are lower prize, but they create this really fun new challenge to utilize your cards in a different way. I know that we did away with the special weeklies, but we replaced it with special dailies. So the daily swing has kind of taken that place. Hud's dog needs to buy energy.
For certain, baby.
But yeah, I think that there's still a lot of fun ways to implement, and the balance. I think that what's really interesting is that you need to decide how many lineups in Champion you're actually competitive with, and don't overlook the value of keeping some of your stronger cards in Challenger so that you can fuel one really good champ lineup. So that has been my approach. Let me pull up a game week that really shows kind of how I've done this. Here, I'll pull up.
Sidebar on this topic right here. Would you buy energy if it was for sale? I would. Depends on how much it costs, obviously. But if you have a 7-card lineup and it costs you $2 per week, or $2 per card to energize, that's $14 a week for a fully classic lineup. Are you in? Maybe, like, depending on the week. For me, I probably wouldn't spread it out to all one lineup, but would I spend $10 to $14 a week just on energy? Yeah.
I think that the answer is that everybody would buy energy, and I think that that's the problem, is that that money is meant to be spent on in-season cards, which is why we'll probably never see that. But I personally believe that there is a way to go about leveraging energy. I'm going to pull up my best game week so far, and I'm going to show how I used energy. So
I love your strategy on energy. I wouldn't say I've started adopting it yet, but it's at the point where I'm going to need to. There we go.
Oops. Ooh.
Close your eyes.
There we go.
There we go.
Learning this new system. Okay, so we'll get back to that. If you saw it, you saw it. So this was my best game week so far. Game week 3 went very well for me. And as you can see, I did actually use a few energized cards in my second lineup here. But basically what I'm doing is each game week, whatever I win in Challenger, that's my budget for the following week, which on average, I've been winning somewhere between 100 and 250, probably on average 150 to 175. 175 is a full lineup. So in this game week, the prior game week, I had done really well in Challenger. I think I had won about 250 energy. So I splurged a little bit, and I built a second lineup using some energized cards. But as you can see, third lineup, no energy. First lineup, I used a in-season card, which allowed me to roll one of those over. And I did use a couple extra. But in a lot of weeks, My second and third lineups don't have any energy usage at all. And I think that, like I said before, you need to understand your gallery and you need to focus. Let's not lose sight of the fact that you are trying to hit big on one lineup each game week. More than that is a cherry on top, but you're trying to hit big on one lineup. It's the same thing we've been preaching since we started the weekly walk-off 2 years ago. Put all of your best cards in one lineup and then let everything go from there. Don't try and spread it out. Don't get cute and try and make 2 lineups really good so that you have 2 shots at the apple. Make one really good lineup and then everything else is a consolation prize. It doesn't mean that lineup's going to be the one that hits, but that is the approach that I take. Doesn't mean it's right, but I think that you and I have both had a decent amount of success over the years on this game, and that's the approach that we've taken. So in the end, it was my third lineup that did the best here. And it's funny because I had asked you if I should break this up and put it in All-Star so that I could leverage some of my higher end common cards. I didn't do that and it played out and I ended up getting a Paul Skeens out of it. So that's how I'm approaching Challenger. Nice. If I scroll up here, you can see what I did. That's how I'm approaching Champ. Challenger, I won 125 in this week, which was a little bit light, but still, even on a light week, that's 5 energized cards for the following game week in my priority lineup. So if we go into my following week, let's see if I make myself a liar here. 25. So I did go a little bit more because I had done so well in the first couple of weeks. And I also say what you want about the triple play promo. There were some obvious lumps. I didn't shy away from sharing my opinion about that in Discord, but the most valuable thing that we got out of triple play was extra energy by far. Even if they had just promoted it as that from the get-go and that was all we were getting, it would have been really valuable. The problem was that we didn't know it at the time. And so the cards, the way that the cards happened, it wasn't great. But in the end, having that extra energy has allowed me to have that little bit of a stockpile. And I'm trying to keep that because, I don't know, I like to plan ahead. We never know when they're going to throw us a curveball and it's going to be worth more in a given game week for whatever reason. So that's kind of the approach that I've taken. This game week that we're in right now, actually I can show those lineups. This game week that we're in now, I ended up, there we go. Because I had a couple in-season cards in my first lineup, I rolled a couple of the energized cards into lineup 2. And then again, lineup 3 is always going to be all in-season for me. So trying to find that balance between your in-season cards and your classic cards. And to Eric's point, the in-season cards are a lot more affordable this year. So that's been my approach. What else? What are your other thoughts on this?
I like the approach, man. I one of the things that you mentioned, like the triple play, right? 5 was not a lot of energy per card, in my opinion. I would have liked to have had more of a treasure chest of energy. Of course, everyone would, but it would have been nice to have a little bit more. I literally blew through my energy within like 2 weeks. Like right now, like I said, I've been starting to just use more in-season cards because I have a lot more options now. But my energy right now is, let's see here. Where do I see this stuff? Digital dugout. Where's my energy at? Oh, here we go. Down in the corner. New.
New interface here.
Yeah, new interface. 115 limited energy only. So don't have a ton. That's going to give me 4 cards for next week. Plus, I'll pick some up this week probably too. So, I don't know, man. And the thing is too, like I think we haven't talked about yet how much better they've done with the tiers. So if you're in the top tier of cards, even getting a tier 2, I mean, those are all solid cards this time around. Like I was looking at tier 2 for my prize this morning, and I was just like, I'm happy with almost any of these cards. So that's a new change, and there's a lot more of them too. Like the top 75 getting a tier 1 is pretty crazy.
Yep.
That allows you to, I mean, like we both had multiple game weeks where we have 2 entries in that top 25. And for me, it's just, you can either play those cards or you can sell those cards, right? I got $20 for my Tarek Skubal, and I got my $20 for my Jaron Duran. You know, I already had those. So that's just money going back into the bank for future cards or back in your pocket. So lots of different dynamics at play, man. But yeah, energy, I think it's fair, and I'm just figuring out how to kind of use it moving forward. You know?
Yep.
I think guys that my cards that I'm energizing this week are Bobby Witt Jr. and Aaron Judge.
Yeah.
You know, like that's who they're meant for. That's who we kind of expected to use them for going into the season. And now it's just kind of holding to that standard. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think that you make a really important point that we hadn't touched on yet, which is that the prize pools are way better. Like Champ is exponentially more valuable this year.
Yep.
The fact that not only do we have the big cash prizes, which have been slightly decreased, it's 400 instead of 500 for first place, 200 instead of 250 for second, but you get the card, and with the new ceiling and vault, you're getting that bonus on the card, which means that, you know, in that game week 3, not only did I win 2 tier 1s and a tier 2, but I earned like 1,500 essence. I already had 500 in the bank. So that game week, I got 3 usable cards. I got Skeens, I got Pete Crow Armstrong, and I got
crafted Teoscar.
I crafted Teoscar.
And I crafted a Reagan's. The crafting has been great too, for the most part.
And it's a roll of the dice. There are going to be plenty of bad crafts, right? But it's designed to be that way. So it's still a vastly improved structure, and you get more prizes. And that's why I feel that classic cards are as valuable as they've ever been. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. You got any other thoughts on it?
No, man, I'm good on that. I think, yeah, classics are great. You know, you're going to pick and choose. You're not going to have a spot for them all the time, is the thing. You're just not going to have a spot for them all the time. I find myself benching J-Ram more this year than I ever have in the past. I find myself benching guys like, I don't know, Devers. I'm using my 2 Otanis almost every week, but not every single week, which I would always think that I'm using both of them. You know, there's certain little things that kind of make it interesting. It's like, okay, your bench is definitely a lot bigger, but it's cool. I mean, and the thing now is you have to pick, right? You got to pick. You know, my thing is here's where I think that the contests are less, right? They're lacking. Imagine last year, right, when you had limited All-Star, limited Pro, NL, AL, a special weekly. Did they do those in addition to the AL and NL? Yes, right? They always had the AL and NL.
The special weeklies were in-season contests.
Special weeklies, and then also a rare All-Star where you could all use classic cards in 6 contests, right? That's 6 different stacks that you could roll out if you really wanted to. Now you can only roll out 2 on the classic side of things, right?
Yeah.
Because the All-Star, the rare All-Star, now you have to use energy on both the limited and the rare. So really, you know, it's like you better pick your stack wisely. You know, and that's where I see it as a little different. I'm not much. I mean, the dailies are fine. You know, like I haven't hit high on the dailies. I never really put much time into them or prioritize them. The prizes are weak. But it's fun enough. You know, I still check the leaderboard. And I like the fun new rules. I just kind of wish there was a little bit more at stake, like there was last year in the special weekly. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on them. It kind of ties all into that. But yeah, man. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm loving the way that the season's going. I'm already like more profitable this year at this point, way by far than I was at last year. I think I told you yesterday, I think I made like $158 in prizes alone on stuff that I've either had cash prizes on or have already sold and have hit the bank. So it was in like 4 or 5 game weeks, so 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, we are 2 weeks into the MLB season.
Yeah,
and I agree. I think you've won around $80 cash. I've won around $60 cash. We've both won a bunch of cards, including some big ones. Like I mentioned, I got Skeens. I've crafted a Teoscar. I've crafted a Schwarber. I actually won a JJ Bleday in the Daily Derby the other day for a 9th place finish. So if you come in top 10 there, you win a card. What else? Pete Crow. O'Neill Cruz. That was the other tier 1 that I won the other day. So yeah, the prizes are they're a lot better. And I think that while there's no wrong answer, certainly there are less opportunities to implement your classic cards, like on a volume standpoint. That is absolutely true. But I personally feel that the utility of being able to pretty much use a full lineup of classic cards in Champion is more useful. Like I would rather be able to compete for the biggest prizes using a full lineup of my classic cards. I'll get rid of AL, NL, and all that. The one thing that I wish was different is All-Star. I think that they could have done a mix of in-season with All-Star. I really think that All-Star is such a unique contest. I love the way that they maintained the mixed rarity structure, and I really think that it's cool. Yeah, there's maybe some bumps to work out, but I think it's cool that they implemented commons into the limited All-Star. I think that maybe the limited cards should get a little bit more of a boost rather than the 5%. I think they should be a little bit more valuable, because I have seen the complaints of, you get your Ohtani, your Judge, and your Witt in common, and then you move along. Right. And I agree. That is the meta right now. I've gotten my Judge, my Ohtani, and my Tucker, and I've got a couple others, and I'm playing one All-Star lineup. So I think that they could have gone classic with that, or maybe a balance. Maybe you get like 2 free energized cards per lineup. But again, like you said, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I like how much I'm having to think about where to put my cards. There's no one size fits all. You can take a lot of different approaches and a lot of different strategies, and I think that that's fun. So deciding that, man, my energy balance is really low, maybe I just put all my classic cards into 2 challengers and prioritize that for a week and hope that I can get 200 plus energy and build the bank. And I'll just sit a game week out from champ with any energizing. So don't overlook the fact that you can take different approaches every week. And that's one of the things that we really like to talk about in the Digital Dugout Discord. It's a great reason to be in there. And that will be something that we talk about on the roundtable calls in the Clubhouse as well, which we're going to get into the Clubhouse very shortly here. So, should we get into the Clubhouse?
Couldn't agree more, man. Yeah, let's do it, man. Excited. Right. This is the good part, ladies and gents. The link to the pre-sign-up form, it's going to be in my Twitter bio, and we'll put it in the chat as well. Nate, if you want me to do that, let me know. But let's go ahead and go through this real quick. It's something that, we both put a lot of thought into. Nate's put a lot of work into, and I'll let him run you guys through it.
Yeah. So super excited to show this, super excited to announce this, and really grateful for anybody that considers joining us with this. So like Eric said, we've got a pre-sign up form that we are going to put out here. We're going to put it in the chat in a second. It's going to be on Discord. It's going to be all over our socials. And that's going to be your opportunity over the next week to kind of give us a pulse of interest. And it will be some basic information gathering of your username and your contact info, but it's also going to give you an opportunity to let us know which one of these tiers excites you, what things about the tiers excite you, which things you don't like. We are completely open to negative feedback or constructive criticism as well. This is something new that we're trying, but we are really excited about it. And the way that we put this together, we think that there's going to be a whole lot of value here to anybody that decides to trust us with this new journey. So as you can see, the name of this is the Clubhouse. This is going to be Digital Dugout's exclusive inner circle for grinders, strategists, and students of the game. We are only going to be opening up 35 total spots, and there are going to be 26 spots in the scout tier, and there will only be 9 spots in the veteran tier. So let's just run through this list here real quick. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat. We are happy to answer questions with anything that we can. There are some things that we're still sorting out and some things that will be determined based on the total number of signups, but we're happy to give you as much information as we can at this juncture. And we'll have a whole lot more solidified a week from now once that pre-sign-up form gets filled out. So Eric just threw that in the chat, and you might have to copy and paste it. We'll put links in Discord as well. But feel free to fill that out and give us any thoughts that you may have. But starting at the top.
Real quick before you jump into that, Nate, if you don't mind me interjecting real quick, just wanted to say this, like off the cuff, man, it's we've both been making content for what's it been, 4 or 5 years now, all along the lines of baseball, digital assets, fantasy baseball, building these communities. I've never personally asked for a penny from anybody. Just have been doing it for fun and wanting to provide as much value as possible. And personally, now I feel really in a good spot to make the ask, because I do feel like what you're about to see right here is going to be valuable to some. Maybe it's not valuable to all, and no offense taken whatsoever, but the product that we're laying out for you, it is thoughtful and it's going to be a great time. So I put everything that I have behind that, and we're excited to take this on as a challenge with this first group of Clubhouse members. So
yeah, no, I appreciate that interjection. That is for sure the sentiment here. Like you said, we've both been doing this for a long time. You've got people in here that have been here since the early days of Nifty. I've got people in here that have been around since the very beginning of Talking Candy. Shout out to Link, shout out to Jimp, shout out to anybody that bought into a break. Like you said, this is something that we've both been passionate about for a long time. We both really love the game of baseball, and we have loved embracing these new digital collectibles, and we're both just fantasy sport junkies at the end of the day. So yeah, it's we really haven't asked for any type of paid contribution from anybody yet. And like Eric said, if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's totally cool. We appreciate any type of constructive feedback as well. But we are really excited to share this and to make this worthwhile to anybody that decides to join up. So, all right, let's get back into it. So first off, monthly roundtable calls with the Digital Dugout team. This is going to be, like it says, a roundtable. This is going to be your opportunity to join a video call, to be part of the conversation, to ask questions. If you look down towards the middle there, we've got voting power on topics, giveaways, and content. That is going to be a foundation of the Clubhouse. We are going to get feedback from the people that are participating so that we can make it what you want it to be. If there are certain things that you want to talk about in these roundtable calls, we're going to screen some topics in the preliminary stage of a roundtable. And we're going to make sure that we're talking about things that bring value to people. So whatever we think that might be, we're going to have our ideas, but at the end of the day, it's going to be what the Clubhouse wants it to be. So the roundtable calls will take a lot of different forms. And if we feel that 35 spots is, if we are fortunate enough to fill all those spots and it feels like too many for it to be personal, we'll cut it in half and we'll make it 2 different calls. Whatever type of feedback we're getting, we're going to make sure that we make this valuable to people and that you have access to ask the questions that you want and discuss the subjects that you want. So that's what the roundtable calls look like. Eric, obviously jump in at any point here.
You're good on that. Yeah, agreed. Echo all the sentiment. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a good time. It's not going to be something that it's like, I'm not going to go to that. We want to make sure that it's valuable. If you want to come and talk about your lineups or, your lineups for the next couple weeks or strategy overall, I think there's going to be a ton of value in that group talk right there. I think it's going to be huge. So,
agreed.
I mean, there's so much you can say anything that you want to in Discord, but like nobody's got time to read through the whole thread all day long. Like it goes, like in different directions. Like you'll be able to air everything out at that point. So it's gonna be fun.
100%. All right. Number 2, entry into 2. And this is all, we're running through Scout tier right now. So Scout tier is the 26 spot segment. So number 2 is 2 star tier So Rare card giveaways. We are not giving away garbage. We are going to start with an in-season Ohtani, and we are only going to be giving away star tier. And so that's pretty self-explanatory. This is a very limited group. You're going to have a pretty good bite at the apple, good shot at that. So we're looking forward to right off the bat doing an Ohtani giveaway as the first one. More info to come on the exact date of that, but it won't be far into the start of the Clubhouse. So that's what that looks like. We are also going to start doing some merch. There's going to be a premium digital dugout t-shirt. This will likely be Clubhouse themed, and we are still designing it right now. Been doing a lot of different mock-ups, a lot of different designs, want to make sure that it's something killer for everybody. So not ready to show that yet, but we will show that at some point this week. We'll be doing a lot of marketing this week and trickling out more information as things get solidified. But that's what that t-shirt is going to be.
It looks sick.
It's going to be sick.
It's going to be sick.
Again, no low quality garbage there. No Gildan t-shirts. Like you have our word. It's everything that we're doing here is going to be quality. Number 4, access to Clubhouse only competitions. This is one that I am really excited about. We're going to do prizes. I can't lie to you. It's not going to be an Ohtani, but you're going to be in a very small group. We're going to leverage the brand new friends only leaderboard function, which is awesome. Have loved using that just on a personal level. But we're going to leverage that into a tool for the community, and we're going to be able to track leaderboards. We've got a lot of different ways that we're thinking about going about this. And we will certainly, again, be taking feedback from the community. There's not going to be a one size fits all every time we run a contest. We'll be doing a variety of different things. And most importantly, we are going to make this classic cards. So we'll probably leverage the Challenger contest in order to do this, so that there's no paywall to entry. Whatever cards you have at your disposal, you'll be able to use those. Like I said, likely in the Challenger contest will be what makes the most sense. And we will have card prizes, merch prizes, and most importantly, bragging rights within the Clubhouse. So really excited to do that one. It's kind of going to be like our little fantasy baseball group within the group, game within the game. So not only will you have a shot at winning So Rare prizes on that Challenger lineup, but you'll also be contributing to a Clubhouse only competition. So I'm personally pumped about that. That's one that I'd be joining for personally.
So excited, man. I mean, we have some really cool ideas about how we can, present this to the group and make it a lot of fun. Some ideas you may be familiar with already and have enjoyed from So Rare. I'll just leave it at that. But, I don't know if you all were here when you remember the Morosi League or some of the other custom leagues, or if you were in the early days of So Rare NBA, anybody could just kind of create their own private league. That's what we're bringing back. I think the first So Rare NBA season, I had a couple hundred people in the nifty So Rare NBA league. This is just going to be a group of 35 guys, right? It's going to be tight knit, tons of fun, playing amongst friends, with cool prizes to boot. So
absolutely. More info to come on that, but we're looking forward to getting community feedback and making those super fun. We'll be posting the leaderboards and graphics and all that. If you couldn't tell, we love making the content and the graphics and all that. So we'll make it clean. We'll make it fun. Next is going to be the Clubhouse cheat sheet. So this isn't a lineup setting tool. Those are already out there. And this isn't going to be, some silver bullet or some magic bullet to win your game weeks, but it is going to give you a look at what we use. I know that Eric and I have probably 10 to 12 tabs saved that we leverage when setting our lineups. Variety of different websites, mostly free. We'll tell you which paid ones we use as well, but it's going to be mostly free resources, and it's going to be put into a clean format that explains why we use them, what we use them for, and why you should consider using them when you're setting your lineups. So that one's pretty self-explanatory, but we hope that people find use out of that. If you are on the newer side of Sorare, it's going to be super valuable to you because it's going to give you a streamlined thought process on how to set lineups, because especially as your gallery starts to grow, it can become pretty overwhelming to figure out what to put where. And I think that that's one of the most important things that we could possibly talk about in the Clubhouse. And we're looking forward to not only providing our insight, but I think that one of the cool things about the Clubhouse is that it's going to be as valuable as the people that are in it. It's not just me and Eric. We don't have all the answers. We love this game. We love fantasy baseball. And I think that we both have, we've shown that we've won enough to be credible, but we also have other people in our community that are that much more successful and that have that much more insight to bring to the table. And we're going to be so honored to have those people in the conversation as well, whether it be roundtable calls, voting power, or contributions to the cheat sheet. That cheat sheet will be a living, breathing document. If we find new tools, we will add to it, and we'll make sure that everybody is up to date on what you have at your disposal to set better lineups. So that is the foundation of the cheat sheet.
Definitely.
Voting power we've touched on. That is just going to be kind of a core foundational element of the Clubhouse. We want feedback. We want input. We want to make this what people want it to be. So there will be an abundance of opportunity to vote and give feedback and make this be what you want it to be. So that element will kind of span across all of these different items and allow you to customize it. So, and then the last piece of the Scout tier is going to be the OG Clubhouse Discord badge. Everybody loves a Discord badge, and we love giving credit to those of you who have been with us since day one. So anybody that signs up with us here in 2025 is going to get the OG Clubhouse badge in Discord. So just a fun little badge of honor for everybody to have for riding with us on day one here. Yeah. Any general thoughts on Scouts here before we move into veteran here, Eric?
Nope. I think we're good. We covered it up. Scout tier is going to be awesome, man. It's going to be, again, still overall intimate group of people who are talking about Sorare. I will say that the free Discord will always be there, but this is next level. With the contests, with the giveaways, with the dugout, at our price point for this, I think it's, there's tons of value there. So, yeah, that's all I got.
Cool. All right. Moving into the veteran tier. This will be 9 spots only. And this is going to be the inner circle. And first and foremost, we are going to have a veteran only Discord channel. So like Eric said, the free Discord is always going to be there. Everybody is welcome. The Sorare MLB chat is always bumping every single day. There's lots of good thoughts and commentary in there. Weather updates, injury updates. This is a game where community wins over individual thought. You cannot possibly be on top of everything all the time. And it's awesome to have people that want to see their buddies win. And that is really what we've created over the years and what Nifty was and what what Digital Dugout is going to continue to be. But within that, we are going to have the veteran only Discord channel. So this will only be up to 9 people that join veteran plus myself and Eric. That's going to be that Discord channel. So I'll let you imagine what will go on in there, but we're really excited to see who chooses to join that inner circle. The next piece of veteran is going to be a bonus entry in every giveaway. So the 2-star giveaways from the Scout tier, the veteran tier will get an additional entry into those giveaways. So nice little added benefit there. We are also going to do an additional veteran only giveaway. Also star tier. Again, no junk giveaways here. Good cards only, cards that you're ready to put into some of your top lineups right away. So we'll have that additional veteran only giveaway on top of the initial 2. So you'll be entered into 3 giveaways if you're in the veteran tier. And then we are going to do a premium digital dugout hat, which we have teased here. It's going to be the double D logo. We're going to do 2 different hat options. So you'll have your choice of style. Not everybody wears the same type of hat. And as many have probably noticed, I never wear the same hat. I've got literally hundreds. I'm a hat junkie, and it just didn't seem right to only give one option. So we went with a blank hat that was Eric's style, as well as one that's my style. We've got that curved brim with a structured top, and then we've also got the flat brim with the unstructured top. And you will have your choice between those 2. Excited about that. Excited to be rocking that hat on stream. So that's what that's going to look like. So in addition to the t-shirt, you'll also get that. And for any additional merch that we do throughout the year, if you are in veteran tier, you're going to get 40% off. So that is just a big thank you for deciding to join that tier. We're going to give you a heavy, heavy discount. We don't know what that's going to look like, but like I said, Eric and I like being creative. We're starting with a shirt and a hat, but we're not going to stop there. And we will have merch available to anybody. You don't have to be in the clubhouse to have access to it. But if you're in the veteran tier, you're going to have that nice discount on top. And then last, but certainly not least, as we have conveyed, this is a testing ground. We've put a lot of thought into this, and we are looking forward to making it super valuable to anybody that's here. But we are going to be learning throughout the season. We're going to figure out what's working. We're going to figure out what's not. We're going to see what people like the most. We're going to take a whole lot of feedback, and we're going to bring this back bigger and better next year. And anybody that chooses to join the veteran tier is going to have early access to next season's clubhouse before it is available to the public. So that is the final little element to the veteran tier that we wanted to offer as well. So like we said, everything in Scout tier is also included in the veteran tier, like you would imagine, but you're also going to get those additional 6 benefits on top of it. So I don't know. Do we got any questions in here? I see Link through some drop some knowledge on the common contest, which we definitely agree with, Link. That I think that a lot of people feel that getting some of those studs and then just leaning into all-star is the way to go about it.
Yeah, I traded in all mine for the studs. I did that pretty early on, and I also made some mistakes too because I was trying to stream people at some point for pitchers for daily contests, and it just gets cannibalized by the amount of points that you have to give away when you trade it in. So kind of standing pat. If I don't have a pitcher, I'm going to throw a pitcher in there that's not making a start. Who knows? Better than Tanner Houck today.
Yep. Oh, is he getting rocked already?
Yeah, and he's in my challenger priority lineup.
Oh, God. It's not good. The Red Sox are a little bit rough right now. They're going to have to figure some things out. Just a reminder, I'm not sure if it's a live link in the chat, but there is a link in the chat. This is an Airtable form. This is the pre-signup form. So the Clubhouse is not available to sign up yet. We're going to drop that fully in a week. So it'll be next Monday, the 21st. In the meantime, we are asking people to fill out this form. If you are even a little bit interested, this is not a commitment. You're not locked into anything. You're free to make whatever decision you want on Monday. But if you are at least intrigued by the Clubhouse and the possibility that you might want to be part of it, we ask that you fill out this pre-form and give us an idea of what you're looking at, which tier you might be interested in. Give us some basic information so that we can contact you, and give us some general feedback. There's some open form response that you can put in to let us know what you're excited about. Feel free to let us know what you're not excited about too. Like I said, we're open to any and all feedback. We just want to see what the interest level is, and that's going to help us make some decisions on some of the variables that we haven't set in stone yet. So please fill out the form. Please let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to answer those. And that's pretty much all I got on the Clubhouse. I think that unless you've got anything, Eric, we can get back into some more Sorare talk. But like I said, please fill out the Airtable form, and DM us on Discord, jump into the main chat on Discord, DM us on Twitter. Also follow the new Twitter. It's at @digital_dugout. So that's going to be our new primary social media account. We'll be posting on there. We'll be posting live streams and clips from live streams and things of that nature. So yeah, that's where that's going to live. You got anything else on the Clubhouse, Eric?
No, I was just going to say, if you have questions, make sure they're answered. Yeah, get at us on Discord. We'll respond to every question that you have if you put it in the Airtable channel. DM in Discord, on Twitter. I don't check my Twitter DMs as much anymore, but track us down. We're not going to ignore you on those. So if you have questions that need to be answered, let us know.
For sure.
But yeah, excited to see everybody in there. Yeah, sign up, man. It's going to be awesome. What else can I say? It's going to be great. If not, still join the Discord anyways.
Yeah.
Because maybe you'll change your mind and want to join later on or join next season, or just be a part of the Discord community that we have going on organically in there. I think it's the best one around. So I'm biased, but it's a blast. I don't typically spend much time in other ones because I like ours so much. So
agreed. It's a strong community. It's generally positive. We certainly don't shy away from talking about pain points as well. But we like to see everybody's wins, and we like to everybody in there gives feedback and advice. And it's just, like I said, it's a brain trust that allows us to set better lineups. So yeah, Hud's dog.
LFG.
Appreciate you, man.
It's gonna be interesting to see. It's gonna be interesting to see what teams are represented in the Clubhouse. I mean, like, can we get a couple Giants fans out there? This is a service announcement. If you're a Giants fan, let's go.
Whip bomb. Love it. Got him in both of my priority champs. All right. Also, if you go to fill out the form, you're going to see pricing info in there as well. So any questions you have on that, it'll all be outlined in the pre-sign-up form. So let's jump back into Sorare. And I think that what we are going to end on here is the market. And let's bring that up here. All right.
This Mookie's tempting. I'm not going to lie.
Is that about to end? There you go. $43 Mookie about to end on auction. All right. So I like going into the instant buy. I know that it's a little bit inflated, but I think that this is a really good way to just it's the only way to really sort the market by order of value here. So you want to tee us up here, Eric? What are you seeing? What are you thinking? What are you feeling about the market right now?
I think these players are more accessible than they ever have been before. I'm tempted to buy 2 on some of the stars just so I can create better lineups, but I've been, holding myself at bay. One of my things this year is I didn't want to go in a ton of extra money, but I was willing to do it if I was going to make the money back with, podium lineups. And I think I spent $500 on cards this year, and I've already gotten 150 back. Right. I think the initial spend was 400. I've gotten 150 back, and then I put some more money into it with the winnings. So, I want to be able to play and compete for multiple, cash prizes per week, right? Just to kind of see how high we can run it up this year, and totally able to do that. I think the market factors have to do with a lot of different things, right? A lot of people out there have large classic collections, and that's one of them. People come in the same mindset as me. If I already have 2 Ohtanis, I could just energize them instead of using $150 on a new Ohtani. But I also think that I've been able to do a lot of things with the better tier structure this year. Like buying a Jarren Duran for $20, 50% off, and then winning one and selling it for 20 cash. It's basically they got paid $10 to have a Jarren Duran. It's like I'm on the up for that. I profited on a Jarren Duran with my credit. So there's lots of different factors that go into it. But man, it's like some of these prices are just like I like the 50% so much better than the 25%. I'll put it out there on the credits. It's harder to get, but it doesn't affect the market as much when it comes to bidding on them. And it makes so much more of an impact when you go to buy, right?
It feels a lot like
less
cash.
competition. Yeah. Yeah.
It feels a lot like more a cash prize. I'm worried. I shouldn't say worried. I'm curious to see what the market environment looks like by mid-season and end season compared to last year, because
Yeah.
I do think that as people start to accumulate more credits, which to your point, it is harder to get credits this year, a lot harder. But the 50% does create an interesting situation with the ability to buy $100 card for $50 and then flip it. What does that do to the market? What do things look like as people are able to spend that amount? Spend that amount of discount.
A 7-day timer on it now, though, too.
7-day timer, but which I don't love, but I also feel like you do still have the ability to roll that clock over, because it does get re-upped as soon as you win a new credit. So if you win a credit every 2 weeks, it should never expire on you. But certainly that's a big if, right? That's not always going to happen. You're not always going to hit those credits, but if you can, it's another reason to make sure that you're taking Challenger seriously. I know that the cash and card prizes aren't quite there, but don't underestimate the value of energy and credits. Don't underestimate the value of prioritizing one Challenger lineup each week, because it really fuels everything else. And so focus on one good champ lineup, but for sure focus on one good Challenger lineup as well, because it really is the fuel for everything that you're going to do the rest of the season. And if you already blew through all your energy, spend a couple weeks, be patient, don't spend it, let it gather, and then hit the reset button. I decided not to burn through all of my energy in the beginning, so I do have that stockpile of about 500 behind right now, and I'm glad that I do. But it's not that hard to do that. Just don't spend energy for a couple game weeks.
Right.
Let it build up. Like, it's a long season. We're going to play out 60 plus game weeks through playoffs. You don't have to do the same thing every game week.
Yep.
Prioritize different things based on where you're at. If you were low on energy, prioritize getting energy, and then let that fuel better champ lineups going forward. That's my take on that. I think that, like I said at the top of the show, we are in a recalibration period. People are figuring out the value of having multi-entry. They're figuring out the value of energy, the way that they want to deploy their classic cards. But if you're new to the game right now, in season has never been more accessible. Like you just said, you know, if you have a decent budget of a few $100s, you can stack up 10 really good guys right now, right? So you can buy yourself a Witt or a Soto, you buy yourself a Lindor, a J-Ram, you grab yourself a Skeens, grab yourself a Vladdy. There's tons of value to be had at the $5 to $10 price point. Pitching is super affordable. You don't need Skeens. You don't need Glass now. You know, you can get the job done with guys like Sonny Gray and Jack Flaherty, right? So those are guys that are less than $10. So it's a really affordable entry point right now. I don't know if that's what Sorare intended. I don't know if they were hoping that these prices were going to be the same as last year. But the reality is that they're not, and there's something to take advantage of there if you have a little bit of a bankroll to get started. So I think that starting from zero is a really interesting conversation. I like to consider what I would do if I was just starting with no limited cards right now. Would I be buying classics? Would I be buying in seasons? I think it would be a balance of the two. I think that you need to be able to compete in Challenger in order to make this all work for you. But the fact that in-season cards are so affordable means that you have access to the in-season competitions at a level that previously wasn't really there. So I think that it's because there are so many in-season contests that are driving the value there. The fact that there was really just Champ and then the special weeklies last year that made it that if you did have a Bobby Witt, if you did have a Judge, that you could play there, and made it a little bit more valuable. So it's possible that the multi-entry plus the dailies plus all-star has made that market do what it's done so far. But we'll see how it plays out. It could go the other direction as people start to stack up wins in champ. Not sure, but we'll certainly continue tracking it along the way.
No doubt. Yeah, it's interesting. It's kind of fun to be able to buy a star tier card for $30. You know, like even if you have one already, and then it makes the reward boosting more tempting. The gameplay dynamics are definitely coming into place with the market the way that it is now. You're right. It'll be interesting to see where we're at mid-season, but it's it is what it is. It's fun. And the prizes aren't changing. Hey, winner still gets $400.
Yeah. And you get 3 cracks at it. So obviously it would take an unbelievable lightning strike, but your upside to win a high volume of cash, you're not capped at $500 like you were last year. Right. You could win $400 and then you could make up that other $100 with your 2 other entries. I mean, right. I certainly didn't do that in game week 3, but I think that the triple cash, which was exciting to do. I mean, 3 cards plus enough to craft 2 more, plus all, the cash on top of it was, there's a lot of upside in champ this year. And I was skeptical on the multi-entry, but now that I've seen the whole ecosystem, I'm really enjoying it.
Yep.
That's all I got, man.
Yep. I think that's it too. Guys, thanks for joining. We've had an awesome crew this whole entire time throughout the stream. Nobody went away when we started talking about the Clubhouse, which is a good sign. So we hope to see you in there. There's 28 people watching right now. I think that's 28 people in the Clubhouse, right, Nate? No, just kidding. If you feel like it, sign up. We'd love to see you in there. And like I said, if you have any questions about it, Nate and I are here to talk it through, because just to reiterate, this is the first time either of us have done any paid model for our content. We've been doing this for 4 years, and we're really excited about the product that we have in front of you and think it's going to be really valuable. So we wouldn't be doing it if otherwise. And it's the first year of hopefully an exciting journey with the Clubhouse for years to come. So
for sure. Agree with all the sentiment there. We are going to do everything that we can to make this as valuable as we can to anybody that decides to sign up for it. We are truly honored if you even consider just filling out the form is valuable to give us feedback. So we appreciate anybody that gives it the time of day to even take a look at it. We've got the Airtable link on screen here. Go grab it in the chat and fill out that form. Give us a little bit of info. Let us know what you're thinking. And yeah, like I said, we'll be launching this fully for signups next Monday, a week from today. In the meantime, we're gathering information, but we're really looking forward to rolling this out and making this a really unique Sorare season. A lot of changes on the Sorare side, and as you can see, a lot of changes on the digital dugout side as well. If you are still here right now and you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel already, do that so that you don't miss our future live streams and videos. Liking the video goes a long way to help promote, simple things like that. Even if the Clubhouse isn't for you, give us a like on the video, man. Like it really does go a long way. And any little bit of support like that is appreciated. And for sure, give us a follow on Twitter as well, or X. It's digital_dugout. We'll be posting more on there as well. But that's pretty much it. That'll do it. If you got any questions, DM us, jump in the Discord, Digital Dugout Discord, and we appreciate everybody being here.
11-4, San Francisco Giants. What do you say?
It's a lot better than the Red Sox, but we'll see where things stand at the end.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Have a good one. Go Sox.